The journey through the dense forest was silent, save for the sound of their footsteps crunching the dry underbrush beneath their feet. The shadows of the trees stretched long into the fading light of dusk, casting an eerie quiet over the land. Ethan, Lyra, and Ashen walked in tense anticipation, the weight of the task ahead pressing down on them. Ashen, leading the way with a calm, steady pace, had told them little about the location of the first shard, only that it was hidden deep within the heart of the forest, protected by both time and magic. But the further they ventured, the more Ethan began to feel the oppressive air that seemed to grow heavier around them. It was just the darkness of the woods. It was something ancient, a presence, like an old force waiting to be disturbed. "I've been this way before," Ashen said, breaking the silence, his voice low but sure, but never this deep. "The further we go, the closer we get to where the old magic still lingers." Ethan glanced at Lyra, who returned his gaze with a knowing look. They both understood that the deeper they went, the more dangerous it would become. The ancient magic Ashen spoke of was something to be taken lightly. Suddenly, Ashen stopped, holding up a hand. "We're near," he whispered, his eyes scanning the surrounding forest. The trees seemed to close in around them, the oxalar path now shrouded in mist. Ethan felt it then, an unsettling energy, almost like a whisper in the wind. It seemed to come from everywhere and nowhere all at once. "Do you hear that?" Lyra asked softly, her voice tinged with awe. Ethan strained to listen. At first, he heard nothing but the rustling of leaves in the wind. But then, through the stillness, a faint melody began to rise, carried on the breeze. It was a song, ancient and beautiful, its words soft and sorrowful yet full of hope. The melody was familiar, though he couldn't place it. The words seemed to weave through his very soul. "O Lord, my God, when I in awesome wonder consider all the worlds thy hands have made." Ethan froze, his heart skipping a beat. He recognized the song now. "How great thou art," a hymn he had heard once, long ago, in his youth. It had always been a song of reverence, of remembering the greatness of the world and the power beyond. But now, hearing it in the midst of this ancient forest, it felt different. It was as if the very land itself was singing. Lyra's eyes widened. "That song, it's ancient. And it's coming from there," she said, pointing ahead, where the mist seemed to grow thicker. The song seemed to grow louder, more insistent, calling them towards something hidden within the depths of the forest. It was both a comfort and a warning. Ashen looked at them with a mixture of curiosity and reverence. "I've heard the song before, but not like this. It's a blessing and a test." The magic of the forest responds to the song, responds to faith. Ethan's grip on his sword tightened, but his heart began to slow. There was something calming about the melody, like a distant promise. Despite the danger that lay ahead, the song gave him strength. They pressed forward, drawn to the haunting beauty of the hymn. As they ventured deeper, the mist parted, revealing a small clearing. In the center stood a towering stone monolith, weathered by time but still standing strong. The air was thick with the pulse of ancient magic, and the song seemed to emanate from the very stone itself. Ethan stepped forward, his breath catching in his throat. The shard they saw was embedded within the monolith, a glimmering piece of crystal, faintly pulsing with a light of its own. The song reached a crescendo, its final notes filling the air with power. "One cry shall come, with shout of acclamation, and take me home. What joy shall fill my heart." As the last note echoed through the trees, Ethan reached out, his hand trembling slightly as he touched the shard. The moment his fingers brushed the crystal, a rush of energy surged through him. The vision of a world on the brink of destruction flashed before his eyes. Sprays, chaos, and a future he feared was already delayed to change. But then, as the vision faded, a sense of peace settled over him, like the calm after a storm. The magic of the forest seemed to retreat, and the song faded into the distance. Lyra stepped beside him, her voice steady. "You're holding it." "The first shard." Ethan nodded, still feeling the pull of the song in his chest. "But we're not done yet." Ashen, who had been silent for a moment, finally spoke, his voice grave. "The song was a sign. It's a reminder. We're not alone in this fight. There's more at work here than we understand." The song had reminded them of something greater than their mission, of faith, hope, and the unseen forces that had guided them this far. And now, with the first shard in their hands, they knew they had no choice but to continue. The road ahead was uncertain, and the darkness still loomed. But for the first time, Ethan felt something stronger than fear. It was the same feeling he had when he first heard the hymn, an overwhelming sense that they were part of something much larger than themselves. "Let's go," Ethan said, his voice resolute. Lyra nodded, and Ashen, after a moment of silent contemplation, began to lead them onward. And as they walked away from the monolith, the faint hymns of the song lingered in the air, a constant reminder that no matter how dark the path ahead might seem, they were never truly alone.